Hello, sumo fans! I'm Scott Finley, or in this video you can refer to me as Psychic Scott, and welcome to my May Basho 2023 Banzuke prediction video, where it's me, it's ChatGPT, where I'm going to see if the AI can outpredict me and get close to where the Kyokai rank guys for May's Natsu Basho. Who knows? If it does well, maybe I can let the Kyokai know this is the future of deciding sumo rankings. I doubt it, of course. Trust me, it seems an amazing thing, but it's just not quite there yet, as you will see with some of its picks. But nonetheless, I wanted to see if this AI could in fact determine close to a logical placement for guys based on their previous Basho results and a little extra info, to be able to fairly determine their ranks. Then compare them with mine after the actual Banzuke is released, and we'll see who got more right. Shout out to World of Sumo family member Anti-Sumo Mika Grimmer for her help in finalising my choices after the 2-day headache that was trying to fairly place guys. Folks, so many guys did really well near the lower ranks, and a good few did quite bad higher up. So, with a lot being very far apart, it was definitely a difficult one this time to justify some spots. But hey, everyone had to go somewhere. So, let's get into it. With me, vs ChatGPT. Starting us off at Maegashira 17. Oh wait, and straight out of the gate, ChatGPT messes up and proves that Machine has a long way to go before the Terminator is a reality, as it says at Maegashira 18, which we know doesn't exist, and places Azamaru at 18, and wait for it, Takanoiwa. Aye, Takanoiwa, who retired in Scandal just a couple of years ago, so it's definitely getting its information backwards, but not all of its picks were crazy, so I decided to let it run with it and give its predictions while I placed Kagayaki at Maegashira 17 East. I believe being saved by the skin of his teeth one more time, and really through numbers necessity as well. I placed Oho on 17 West as his 7-8 takes him 2 ranks lower. At 16 East, your man, Psychic Scott, puts Mitoru with a tiny step from 17, and Miyogiru falls to the west side. ChatGPT stays logical with this pick and actually puts Mitoru in the exact same spot as myself, while it puts Oho at 16 West. 15, and GPT goes with Ichi Yamamoto falling from 8 after a 4-11 and places Suragisho beside him, who jumps from 16. My picks for 15 are Suragisho with a bump, while Ichi Yamamoto falls and joins him on the west side. 14 East, and I chose Chiyoshima, who I think after 9-6 will get a bump along with Hokuseiho, who goes to 14 West, while my opponent, ChatGPT, agrees with me about Chiyoshima, but says I am wrong about my west side pick and chooses Miyogiru to fall to that spot. Maegashira 13 is where things got tricky a bit for me, and with an 8-7 being a winning record and a 7-8 being a losing one, they still don't necessarily mean you'll go up or down a rank. There's always a couple of guys to manage to hold on to that same rank or maybe move sides. So I chose here in the Banzuke to execute this by keeping Maegashira 14 East Daishoho and West Koto Echo at their spots with their 8-7s. And funnily enough, despite me not understanding why Daishoho would be moved to the west with the same score as Koto Echo, ChatGPT decided they should swap sides. So there you go. I decided to give Takara Fuji the east side of 12 after an 8-7 on the west side, while I decided that Oyama, after a 6-9 and not great outings recently, would go to the 12 west. The AI disagreed about Oyama and said he will go to 12 but on the east side, while Ruden will fall hard after a 2-13 from the 2 spot to the 12 west spot. It gave Takara Fuji a bump to 11 East while predicting a hop up to 11 West for Hokuseiho. While myself, I felt this is where our 2 returnees will make their stand. with Ichinojo after a 14-1 in a Juryo Yusho will go to 11 West, joined by former Ozeki on the East, and finally returning home to Makuuchi, Asanayama, who after a Yusho and then a Jun Yusho in Juryo hopes to get back to Sanyaku ASAP. On 10, I predict a fall for Hiradeumi to the West, while Takanosho will see a small hop up to 10 East, while ChatGPT says the exact same thing on this ranking, but again swaps their sides. 9 East, the AI placed returning Juryo Yusho winner Ichinojo, but beside him on West places another cracker that gave me a chuckle, the retired Kaisei. Unless ChatGPT knows something that will blow the lid off of the sumo world, I would say the AI is getting mixed up and filling in gaps with old Banzuki info. Hey, I don't care if my chances of beating this thing are rising. But wait, there's more. Because unhappy, I assume, with me telling the AI it was wrong a few times, it completely left out Onosho from the Banzuki and added the also retired Koto Shigeku into the mix on Maegashira 8 East. Because you know, what is a Banzuki without a few retired Ozeki? Then it made more sense when it put Sada Naomi on the West side. I myself, wanting to win this thing, whether the ChatGPT knew we were in competition or not, stayed logical and picked those that are active wrestlers. I know, boring picks after ChatGPT is being fun enough to throw some curveballs. At 9 East, I selected the pride of Kazakhstan, Kimbozan, with a bump up after a special prize and an 11-4 Makuuchi debut, joined by a falling fast Ruiden, who goes to 9 West from 2. At 8 East, I see an injured Onosho, who after going Kyujo last Basho, I am not sure will get through another full Basho if he hasn't healed correctly. Joining him in his fall on the West after a 5-10 is Macy. Moving down to 7, and I felt Hokuto Fuji would be able to remain at Maegashira 7 despite a 7-8, but move to the West from East, while Sada Naomi falls, but not too hard, to 7 East. ChatGPT, who I was starting to wonder maybe had seen some of my answers, agreed with my Hokuto Fuji prediction, but did put Macy on the West. Maegashira 6 East seemed like the place to put Mitakeumi. I realise his 4-11 was bad, and he hasn't done great since losing Ozeki, but he was injured, and I believe due to his past consistency in Sanyaku recently, he won't face too hard a fall, at least this time around anyway. Which ChatGPT agreed with me on. That was, of course, once I convinced it to stop bloody promoting him with a losing rank. Stupid, biased ChatGPT. The AI thinks it will be Tamawashi who joins him on the West of 6, whereas I think it will be Koto Shoho who takes the 6 West slot. I think Tamawashi, although getting a low score last Basho, may also get some leniency due to his consistency in the past and not fall too hard, landing in the Maegashira 5 West with Nishikigi on the East from 3 West after a 6-9 in March. ChatGPT says that 5 East will go to Kimbozan, which I feel, although possible, may be a bit of a stretch, and place Koto Shoho beside him on the West. It then says Ura will go up to 4 East after his 9-6, while Nishikigi will drop to 4 West after his 6-9. And again, this is where we half agree, as I said Ura will be at 4 East, but I said Nishiki Fuji's 10-5 will see him with a nice bump to the west of the 4 side. I have pegged Takayasu as the Maegashira East spot taker, while I think Endo will also see the fruits of his labour and join Papayasu on the 3 West side. ChatGPT says that this is where Endo lands, but on the East, and it will be Nishiki Fuji who rises way up to the West side of Maegashira 3. The AI says Takayasu will actually get back up to Maegashira 2 along with Tobizaru, who will fall from Sanyaku after a bad showing in March. Whereas I say Midori Fuji's 10-5 will see him at Maegashira 2 East, with one where we agree again as Tobizaru will sit in the West 2 spot. ChatGPT says Midori Fuji will get the west side of Maegashira 1, while Abe takes the highest place in Maegashira, Maegashira 1 East. I agreed about Abe, but in the West, and you may not agree with this, but I put Wakataka Kage. Now listen, hear me out. Although he did only get 7 wins, 7 losses in one sit out, so technically should only fall to Komusubi, they know he won't be back for a year or more. And yes, they can't drop him too far, but I feel dropping him to Maegashira will straighten things up in Sanyaku and start bringing some formation back to Maegashira. Let's go into the Sanyaku, where it was hard for the AI and myself to disagree. Even the AI, although placed Wakataka Kage at Komusubi, did actually say, with him being injured and out, it's logical that he could also be at Maegashira 1. We both agreed Shodai would be at Komusubi. I placed him West, the AI on the East. We both gave Kotonowaka Komusubi East. So, I had 2 at Komusubi and the AI chose 3. While we agreed 100% on the rest of Sanyaku except for one spot, which I will get to in a sec. Not that there is much room to disagree with guys keeping rank, etc. of course. But even on which side, with Kiribayama and Daisho both on East, and Hoshoru and Wakamoto Haru, who swaps his brother's ranks on the West. Kadoban Ozeki Takakesho on the West. And here is the next slip up the AI had. As you will notice, I gave Asanayama a rank in Maegashira, but the AI did not. That's cause in its Twilight Zone universe, a Juryo Jun Yusho at Juryo 1 apparently gets you back to Ozeki East. Damn robots. And finally, returning Mongolian monster, Yokozuna Terunofuji reigns supreme on the Yokozuna East position. Where do you guys think people are going to land? Did you agree with me or the AI's picks? Or do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. How far do you think we are before the AI is smart enough to really predict the Banzuke, eh? Once the real Banzuke is released, I'll be sure to take you through our predictions in a separate video not long after I release that one. Until then, though, that's it for this episode of the World of Sumo Banzuke predictions. Thank you as always for watching, and Sumo fans, if nothing else, remember to like, subscribe, hit that bell. Owatanagi!